Who's going to be the UFC champ by the end of 2025, going by each division? Let's get to it. I was watching many YouTubers and they were talking about who they think is going to be the UFC champ, and I just so much disagree. I was watching the Weasel and I think he made a lot of great points, but I think the biggest reason that I wanted to make this video is because everybody and their mother thinks Jon Jones is going to fight. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not going to fight. It's out. He's done. Like, why would he need to? He has nothing else to add to his legacy. I think they were talking about a 30 million figure. Dana would do that for Jon Jones. He loves Jon Jones. Jon Jones doesn't want it. He's not there. I think by the end of 2025, Tom Aspinall maybe has 2 fights, most likely 1, and it would be against Cyril Gane. And I think Tom Aspinall beats Cyril Gane. I think for the light heavyweight division, Ankalaev is going to beat Alex Pereira. I think Alex Pereira has unappreciated takedown defense, but Ankalaev is persistent like those Dagestani guys are, and he will just keep going. And I don't think Alex does that great. We saw with Israel Adesanya where eventually he's going to tire out. Ankalaev, you can see just how he grinds out his opponents, and how Alex Pereira, that's usually his worst matchup. I think those two will definitely fight, and I think Ankalaev will win. The upcoming fight between Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland is going to dictate who's the champ from the remaining of the year until they fight whoever it is, most likely Khamzat Chimaev. So my thought is, because there's a lot of factors I think a lot of people are forgetting here. Dricus du Plessis was doing really well with Sean, but Sean and him were very close in that fight. I still lean towards Dricus du Plessis, but I think Sean Strickland is not a dumb guy. He's not a shitty fighter. He learns from many people. You saw when he was training with Khamzat Chimaev, you see when he trains with Curtis Blades, that he is a smart guy who puts himself out there. He trains with Alex Pereira, a guy who knocked him out. So Sean Strickland, even though I think he's an asshole, I think he is also very smart in what he does, and he's going to practice and learn with people who have defeated him in the past. That Costa fight, he was pretty defensive and he was pretty smart with it. So I think with Dricus du Plessis, we'll see a better Sean Strickland, but I also think that Dricus du Plessis is such a hard person to figure out that they both kind of cancel each other out, and I genuinely feel it's a 50-50. If Dricus du Plessis wins, which I don't think it's going to be a KO, I don't think it's going to be this walk-off win, I think it's going to be close again. And if it's Dricus du Plessis, I see a world where he goes against Khamzat Chimaev, and I think he wins. I can't go against Dricus. I think his wrestling is so fucking weird. Now, if it's Sean Strickland versus Khamzat Chimaev, I see a world where Sean Strickland proves a lot of people wrong. I don't know if he wins, but I don't think Khamzat Chimaev runs through him. I think it's going to be a Gilbert Burns situation where it's this barn burner. I feel rather safe to bet Dricus du Plessis over everybody. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Bilal Muhammad. Nobody saw this coming. I did, but you know, credit where credit's due, I guess. I think this is a more simple one. Bilal Muhammad will stay champ. I think everyone in the division is not anywhere near him. I think seeing what happened with Ian Gary and Shavkat looked good, but he definitely struggled. Shavkat will be the guy that Bilal fights, and I think Bilal wins. And then everyone else in the division, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm still sticking to Bilal. I think Islam Makhachev is a no-brainer. That's one of the safest picks, I think, on this. Between him and Pantoja, I don't see anyone beating them. And I think Islam may get trouble if he goes up into another division and maybe fights someone like a Shavkat, but even then, I'm like, I'm still leaning Islam. I don't think anyone beats Islam. Ilia Topuria, same thing. I think he's going to beat Volk in the rematch. I think between Diego and Mosavar, he's going to beat them. Between Merab and Umar they're coming up this year, I think it's going to be Umar. I think Merab was picking this fight way too soon. He was forced to fight, and that's never a good sign. He also seems really emotionally attached to this, whereas any of our other fight, he just seemed like this machine. He seemed really focused. He didn't seem really hurt. When he fought Henry, he was focused. When he fought Piotr, he was focused. I'm seeing a lot of losing focus. Maybe this is just a ploy to throw Umar off because Umar is going to be one of his toughest defenses, and this is the worst stylistic matchup. And I think there's a world Merab holds his own. I think people are discrediting Merab way too easy. Umar wins, he's going to stay champ for a while. If Merab wins, he's going to stay champ for a while. I think the division, even though it's stacked with some great fighters, right now, I think those two guys are leaps and bounds above everybody. And I see a world where Umar just stays champ because Merab, I think, can hold his own. And I think their striking is going to be the, difference here. I still lean Umar, not by a lot. I do feel comfortable to say it a little bit more than Merab. And I just see Umar being the guy for a while. Come on. Pantoja is going to be champ for a long time. Him and Islam are the most confident picks for me. Unless they bring back Mokaev, I don't see a world where anybody beats him. I don't see this. Pantoja looks amazing. Oh, who he's going to fight is even a question. I don't think people want to see another Brandon Moreno fight, even though I love Brandon Moreno. Can't think of anyone in that division that I think they will fight. Maybe a Kai Car France or Emmanuel Cap, but I just don't know if even those guys prove themselves yet. I think with the women's divisions, we can definitely see that Kayla Harris is going to win. She's really being held back by her weight and size. So that could throw some stuff off. But we've seen her looking amazing in every single fight. Even though the last two haven't been the most exciting. Still like, oh yeah, she has really high IQ. She's really freaking strong. She's amazing. I love her. Valentina Shevchenko, I don't know who is even on her radar. Valentina Shevchenko is just a clear cut for me. I look at the whole division. I don't see anyone even stacking up next to her. So, Zhang Weili makes sense. I think Zhang Weili is not invincible. I think Kayla Harrison is my strongest pick, but amongst the two other women, I still feel like they pretty dominate their division. So, yeah, I'm still leaning towards the current champs to stay as current champs, except for Kayla Harrison. So, yeah. Peace.